couple of years ago, I started a project that enabled me to start automating my social media. I wanted a system that enabled a workflow of creating a bunch of posts and videos, both portrait and landscape, and they would automatically, on a schedule, get posted onto all the different social media platforms. The problem was that video at the time was not very well supported by a lot of pieces of software like buffer.com, later.com, Hootsuite, all those types of applications online. So I wanted to create my own. And to begin with, it started as like a big spreadsheet and it kind of developed from there. I decided that I wanted to actually build a plugin for WordPress for my website, and make.com came around that enabled me to actually post decent posts, video posts off to the social media platforms. So I could create this entire pipeline of scheduling. What I'm going to do is take you through all the parts that you also can do for free with make.com. You can use my application, my plugins for WordPress, and you're going to see how powerful it really is. We're going to have to get our hands a little bit dirty with some of the solutions. YouTube, for instance, is a little bit tricky. TikTok is also a bit tricky. Instagram also has a few nuances, and overall, it's not just straightforward post off to these social platforms. They all have little things and gotchas that you need to be aware of. So that's what this series is about. It's going to take you through all the processes that I have built that will enable you to schedule your social media posts and have a complete automation pipeline. This is part one. We are going to have a look at Instagram and we're going to build an MVP, a minimal viable product of getting you up to scratch with make.com and how you can get data over to Instagram and effectively post a video. From there, we're going to start developing more. We're going to build on that. We're going to look at YouTube probably next, then TikTok, and then we're going to work backwards and we're going to go to the scheduler and how we can get posts completely automated from beginning to end. We're also probably going to have episodes that are going to focus on AI. We're going to see if we can get AI built into the posts. We're also going to look at one of my other projects that I put together, which was Reframer, that took my horizontal landscape videos. So I had a lot of tutorials and I needed to convert them to portrait, ready for the social media. So we're going to look at that. It uses AI to track subjects, and you can use it all for free as well right now. So episode one, let's dive into make.com. Well, here we are, make.com. This you are going to need an account with, so you can sign up. It is free. What it enables you to do is link multiple applications together. You can, for instance, connect your Gmail to your Google Drive, to Dropbox, to your Jira, or whatever you need, right? If there's an API, then you can connect it. If you can't connect it, there are usually other ways about it. The community is enormous. The number of applications is just astonishing. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of different applications and APIs that you can connect. The reason I use it is because the Instagram module is pretty much the best on this. Even though it's a little bit sketchy, there's a few little gotchas on it. It's better than most. So that's why I use make.com. There are alternatives. N8N is another one that's very similar to make.com, but it's, for now, make.com is the one that I use. You can see here on the pricing that, it's totally free. for 1,000 operations a month, which is a lot. And an operation is using one module. So if you had 5 modules in a row, then yeah, that would be 5 operations. So 1,000 is actually pretty decent. There's a lot that you can do depending on how big the workflow is. But for our stuff, it can remain pretty small, and you can reduce it. You'll see what we're trying to create, and you'll see that you can reduce it a bit if you want to. So yeah, you can start off for free. Once you've signed in, you want to head over to scenarios, and you will, if it's a new account, you'll just have a complete empty list of scenarios, and you can create folders, and then you can then build your scenario. So we're going to create a scenario here. We're going to start off completely blank, and I'm going to show you what we're trying to get to. So this is the MVP. So this is the minimal viable product of us getting a post to Instagram. Okay. We're going to need to register a few accounts. Usually it uses OAuth, which is a type of authentication to connect to your accounts and services. You're going to need a Google account for this. So you don't need a workspace Google account. You can use a personal Gmail account, and yeah, which you can get for free. You can just sign up for it and use Google Drive as your data storage for your videos. This is going to be one big issue for this pipeline. Where do you hold all of your videos before they get posted? I have mine on a NAS. I have a Synology NAS at home, and I've stored them all on that. That means that I don't have any hosting fees, and I don't need to purchase any data storage like some Amazon storage, or I usually use DigitalOcean for my servers and storage. They're pretty cheap and very reliable. So you can go off and do that if you like, or you can use Google Drive. So for now, we're going to use Google Drive, and then we're going to use CloudConvert. CloudConvert, again, has a free tier. It allows you to do 10 conversions a day, which again is plenty. You only really need to do 1 a day. So if you're posting once a day onto your social platforms, yeah, you only need to do 1 conversion. So yeah, CloudConvert is another account that you'll need. Okay, so this is what we're trying to start with. You can see here, Google Sheets is our data source, and then what we do is download the data. So Google Sheets tells us the directory of where it is on Google Drive. Google Drive will then search for it, and then it will download the file, we'll convert it, and then the mega router just allows you to split off to multiple paths. But for now, we're just going to Instagram. This is the pipeline, and this is what we're going to build. We're going to start even smaller. We're just going to post to Instagram from some data store, and then you'll see how we build it up. Okay, so head over to your scenario, and we are going to get started. First things first, we need to store some information, some data. So what we're going to do, instead of Google Sheets, we are going to use the built-in data store in Maker.com. So this is a module, and this is a list of all the apps that you can use. And like I said, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of these. Okay, there are a bunch of built-in ones. So if you type data, you'll see data store is this built-in one. So you're going to click on data store, and it will list all the different things that you can do with it. We can add a record, we can check, we can count, we can delete records, we can get a record, and we can search. So we want to get a record from a specific data store. The problem is we haven't actually built one yet. So if I clicked on that, it's now going to ask me for a data store, and we haven't got one. So what you'll need to do is go over here to data stores. All right, let's open that up in a new tab. And I've actually got one here, but what I'll do is I'm going to delete it. Yeah, that's the right one. And I'm going to add a new one. So let's call that test data store. And we're going to choose a data structure. We're actually going to build a new one. So we're going to add. And it's going to ask us what are the columns of the data store. And we only really need 2. So we need so if we're posting to Instagram, just the description. Description doesn't even need a description. We know what that is. It needs to be text. It is required. Yes, it can be multi-line. And then the other one is the video. So we need to know, let's say video URL, and that's just text. And yes, it is required. And no, it's not multi-line. Okay, so it's just those 2 things. Save that. 1 meg, yeah, that's fine. Save it. Okay, so we've got our data store. If I click on it and browse it, you'll see, there we go, it has a key automatically. And then description and video URL. There's no data in here, so we're going to add some data in. All right, so key number 1, some description. This is a test description field. Oh, spelled that wrong. Description field and the video URL. So with the video URL, for now, I'm just going to link to my Synology. And the reason that this is a little bit tricky is because Instagram requires a public URL. It needs somewhere that it can go and save the file. And by default, if you use a Google Drive or you use Dropbox or any of these things, they do not give you a public URL. If you clicked on the URL they gave you, what they do is they have like a Google Drive wrapper with then the file within it. And it's to stop people from like hosting files directly on their servers and then using them on their websites and things like that. Or using it as like a CDN or something. So they don't give you public URLs. It's a lot trickier than that. So yeah, you need your own personal NAS or your own server with storage on it. Something that is public. So for now, I'm going to add my own video URL. All right, so I'm going to get the video. So this one.
All right.
Okay, so this is a video. It's a portrait one. Let's get that URL. And then I'm going to put the URL in here. Okay. So now we've got our fields. That's all great. I'm going to save it. Go back to our scenario. Okay. So the data store is here. It's got 2 errors. So we're going to click on it because it needs a data store and a key. So we're going to choose our test data store now. That should now be refreshed and loaded. And key is just going to be number 1. That's what I called the first key. Okay. Save that. And that's it. All right. So now what's going to happen is when I run this, it's going to grab that piece of information and then we can do something with it. And all we're going to do is we're going to post it to Instagram. And here's where hurdle number 2 is. Hurdle number 2 is I'm going to create a reel post. You need a connection. And you need a Facebook connection because Instagram is owned by Meta and Facebook. And the way it works is Facebook does the authentication into its other applications, into WhatsApp, into Instagram, and all the others. So you need to, first off, have a business account on Instagram. Okay, so you've got to convert your account to being a business one, and you need to link it to your Facebook account. All right. This is not, you can do it on your phone. You can do it in the account, but this is a must, and you're not going to be able to do it on a personal account. You have to have a business account. Once you've connected up, you can then click add, and it'll ask for a connection. And then when you save, it'll go through, this is what OAuth is, and it'll ask you to connect. It'll log into Facebook and then do the handshake chaining of all the authentication. Once that's done, so I'm just going to close that, you'll then be able to connect up to your connection. So I already have this. I'm going to go to a sandbox account. So this is my test accounts, and I have a test page. So London Parkour test. And now we need to say what the URL is. So what is the video one? Well, it was in the data store. So here, if we click on the field, you're now going to see, hey, we can now get the data from the data store, and we are going to click on the video URL. All right. That's it, other than the caption. So the caption is going to be the description. The cover frame, so this is the picture before the video plays. It's going to be a frame. We're just going to say number 1, and we're going to save it. Now, if I go over to Instagram and let's go to London Parkour, Lone Trusser. So this is my test account. There's no videos, nothing in here. Okay. What we should do is, where is it? I've lost it. Okay, there we go. When I run this, I'm going to run it once. We should see that video, so this one, be posted onto Instagram. Let's run it. So it might take a minute, so I will pause the video, but okay, so it's done step 1. So you can see there it is. It's got the description, it's got the video for key number 1. And now it's posting to Instagram. Okay, so there we go. And it's output, error. Okay, so this is where Instagram can be a bit of a pain. Sometimes it does not work. And we have some solutions for this. This is what CloudConvert does. This is why we use CloudConvert. But yeah, this can be a right pain in the backside. So instead, we're going to now drag this out, and in here, I'm going to add CloudConvert, that one. Okay. Again, you are going to, so we're going to convert a file. We're going to drag it into the middle there. You're going to have to connect it again. So you need to connect it to your account that you will sign up for. So I've got my sandbox one here, input file. This time I'm going to import a file from a URL, and the URL will be the video URL that we've just got. The format, I'm just going to say I don't know what the format is, and then the output format will be MP4. File name will just be output.mp4. And no other things. We don't need to download it because we're going to send it straight to Instagram. Okay, so save that. And then Instagram, we're going to change. We're going to remove the video URL. And instead of the video URL here, we're going to use the temporary URL of CloudConvert. So when it converts it, it hosts the file for a short period of time. So that's what the temporary URL is. And then it will disappear after a while. So we save that. So again, we need to change, no we don't. So there we go, save it on that. We're going to run it again, this time going through CloudConvert. All right, this might take a minute or so. Yeah, because CloudConvert, it effectively is uploading the video to CloudConvert. It's then converting it, hosting it on the temporary URL, and then coming back to make.com and telling Instagram this is the temporary URL. So yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time just to do the convert. Okay, so there's the conversion. If I click on it, you can see here You can actually see all the export and import details, the options, no options, and then it's come back with the temporary URL. So that URL is what's now being sent to Instagram. So if I click on a new tab and look at that, you can see it's going to ask me to download the video. Okay, we're not going to download it because it'll just be the exact same one, but now Instagram has another location rather than my Synology drive. It's going to be using CloudConvert, which is hosting it for now. All right, click on that, and there we go. Now there's no error. And if we were to head over to Instagram, it might take a second to refresh. There we go. There's the video. All right, so click on it. Yeah, this is a test description field. So you can see that it is now posted, and you can see 36 seconds ago is when it posted. Okay, so that is our first steps into posting to Instagram. Moving on, we are going to start using Google Sheets next instead of the data store. You can see here I have a test account for Gmail, and this is the Google Drive connected to it, and I've created a folder called videos. Don't worry about this sheet, we'll use that later, but this is a folder, and in here I've uploaded two videos. One, it's the same video, but one is landscape, one is portrait, and I have this sheet here. So if I click on this sheet and open Google Sheets, so same deal. I've got a title field actually now. I've got a description field. So this holds the long description for Instagram. And then here I've got the name of the file that I need to use with this description. And this matches the portrait one name right here. Okay, so create yourself a sheet, add title, description, video file, and then add your description and video. Title can be used later on for something else, for like Facebook or YouTube, which requires a title, but for now we're just going to use the description. In fact, we can add the title as well, but you'll see how in a second. So now moving back, actually we can delete that and delete that. We're going to replace the data store. Okay, so from here we're going to actually delete that module and change it for Google Sheets. Click on that and watch new rows, search rows. I think we want to watch for new rows. So whenever a new row is added, it will post. So from here, again, you're going to have to go through the authentication and connect up to Google Sheets. This is actually not too hard. It's going to get a little bit difficult with Google Drive, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Do your connection, connect up to your Google account, and now we're going to search by path on my drive. I'm going to change the spreadsheet to, oh, that's the wrong one actually. It's the sandbox one. There we go. And then search by path, and then my drive. Okay, there we go. Videos folder. And then let's add the sheet. So this is the test post to Social Explorer 3. There we go. Sheet name will be number 1. Table has headers, yes. And then that's the rows. We just want to return one row. Save that. We're going to choose manually. So now it's going to tell us what row we want. There we go. We're going to select that row. Now, click on Google Convert. We need to convert the file, but this time we need to get it from Google Drive. So we don't have it on Google on our Synology. We're going to now add Google Drive. So we're going to expand this, and I'm going to click and add a module and do Google Drive. Now, this is where things get a little tricky. I'm going to search for files and folders and add that in. Now, the problem is I'm going to connect and I'm going to change it again to my sandbox. So for me, I've already done these steps. What you need to do is connect to Google API console. The reason for this is that Google requires a little bit more authentication for connecting to Google Drive, and it's a little bit of a convoluted process. However, if you go to make.com Google Drive or search for make.com Google Drive on YouTube, this first video by Duncan Rogoff will take you through it. It's a 5-minute video. It's super easy to follow, but
here's exactly how to connect.
A little convoluted. So you need to go over to the Cloud Console, create a project, and you need to create a client and whatnot. Just follow his video exactly, and you will have this sorted. And once you're done, what it'll enable you to do is, you can see here, you can create a connection and you'll be able to add a client ID and a client secret now, and it'll enable you to connect up to Google Drive. Okay, so follow his video. I'm not going to go through it. You can do that. So now you've got your connection. We can connect up to Google Drive. So I'm going to select from a list. We're going to be My Drive again. And now we're going to choose a folder, videos, and we're going to retrieve. So this is the search for files folder. We're going to retrieve a file, and the search is going to be search within file folder names, query. So here you can see that it's connecting to Google Sheets, and we need the video file. So what we need is this file here to be downloaded. So we're asking Google Drive to search for that file, and within Google Drive, yeah, we need to search for it. So save that, and then next we're going to throw that Google Drive in again. We are going to download that particular found file. So I'm going to connect, sandbox, enter a file, select from list, and then My Drive, choose the file. Wait, actually, no, I need to connect it properly. Yeah, sometimes these connect up to the wrong ones. Okay, there we go. We're going to put it in there after the search. Now I'll click on it. Select from a list. Oh, actually, no, I think we need to enter manually. And then from here, yes. Okay, so now we've got the results from the previous search. So when it finds it, we need the file ID. Okay, click save. So now we've got these 3 steps before our CloudConvert. We've downloaded the file. CloudConvert can now use the downloaded file. So you can see here, if we minimize these are the steps, 1, 2, 3. So download a file, and then from here, it needs the to upload a file. So we're going to change from upload a file, Google Drive, download a file. All right, so it's going to get it from the previous step. I don't know the format. We're going to just, so it will detect itself, change it. That's all going to be the same. Save that. Yep, save that. And then Instagram can use the same temporary URL that CloudConvert is going to use. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then in here, save that. Oh, what's the red error? Oh, I think it needs to run once. Okay, I'm going to save this. Oh, module references non-existing module 1. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, the caption. Yes, because we were using a data source rather than Google Sheets. So from here, scroll down, Google Sheets. Let's use the title and then put the description under it. Save that. Okay, the red has gone. Let's just auto align everything and save it. There we go. And now when I run it, what will happen is we'll grab the file from Google Drive, and you're going to be able to see the difference because the original file was this one, and the Google Drive one is a different one. It's a jumping video.
Okay, so an upwards jump.
So this is going to look different. All right, let's run it. Again, it'll take a minute or two, so I will pause the video on each step. Okay, so Google Sheets, we've got the file. There we go. Google Drive has downloaded or searched for it. It's found the file. Okay, it's got the file ID. It's now downloaded that file. Yep, the output. Good. And it's sent it to CloudConvert, which is now converting. Good. CloudConvert is converted. We've got our temporary URL. And finally, Instagram hopefully will post. And there we have it. Instagram has posted with no errors. Let's go back to Instagram and refresh. Bingo. There is number 2. Okay. So now we've got the title and the text all in here, and it's a different video. There we have it. So that's the next stage, all complete. We're using Google Sheets, Google Drive, CloudConvert, and Instagram, and all working, posting off the way we need it to. Once we've got this working, you can probably see that we don't need to use the CloudConvert immediately. This is sort of a backup, and what we could actually do is, if I highlight those and just pull this out, what I could do is clone this and put it before the CloudConvert. And what you could try to do is post to Instagram first. If it fails, you have some error handling that then goes to CloudConvert afterwards. So that way you're not wasting your CloudConvert credits. This is only really needed if you're doing a lot of posting, because like I said, you've got 10 free a day anyway. So yeah, this is only if you really want to. To do the error handling, let's just quickly look at that. So what I'm going to do is this link here, I'm going to unlink, and what you can do is right click on the module and add error handler. Okay, and then it's going to ask you for the thing. So what I'm going to do is just drag that in. I think that's now chained. Yeah, that's chained. And then delete the module, and now they're connected. So you can see that this one has like dots that are hollow rather than full. And this is to say that it's an error handler. So you could have, maybe if it passes, you could send off to, I have Stripe. So I could add a module and go, not Stripe, Slack, sorry. So Slack, create a message, and you could go off to Slack, public channel, Instagram, and go past. Okay, so if Instagram works, then send a message past. If it fails this, then you can CloudConvert and then send to Instagram, and then you have another Slack. So we could actually clone that and put it over here. Okay, now again, you could put an error handler on this one that is also a Slack, and if it fails the CloudConvert and the Instagram, then you could maybe have an error message, and that way you know, there's actually something going on that's wrong. Okay, so you can see how this starts to build up quite quickly. Let's just delete that for now. Delete that. Let's just get it back to what it was, and there we go, and realign. So this is where we're at. I want to show you where we're going, what we're aiming for. So this is the full thing. Now it's a little bit bigger than we're going to create, and you can see here that things are slightly different. So we don't have a Google Sheets back here anymore. We have what's called a webhook, and a webhook is a URL. It's just a really long random character URL that you can send data to. When you send that data to that URL, oh, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do that too. That data then gets picked up by this listener, and the listener then sends the data off to the mega router, which then sends to all the different channels. The top one here is Instagram. Now, as I said, Instagram can be a little bit finicky through make.com. And what I've done is I'm trying to post 4 times. So and these are all error handlers. So if it fails, then try again. If it fails, try again. If it fails, try again. So it does it 4 in a row. Because sometimes, it just doesn't do it on the first 1, 2, or 3 times. I might get rid of this at a later date, but for now, I want it to just try. And then if it fails all of those, then it uses CloudConvert, and then it posts. And that usually catches everything. So Instagram's pretty rock solid now with that process. All these Slack messages are just success and error messages. The next row down is Facebook, and that's pretty easy. Once you've done Instagram, you've actually already created a connection to Facebook, so you can just post to a page. Then we get to these ones. So you can see here that we've got YouTube. This is the YouTube line, and this is the TikTok line. And I'm not using the YouTube module or the TikTok module. So there is actual built-in one. So you can, if I look for YouTube, there we go, upload a video. So I'm not using that one, and I'm not using the TikTok one either. And there is a reason. The YouTube one is limited on the video options of being able to upload. So you've got a file size limit, and I don't want to do that. So sometimes some of the videos are much bigger, and I've passed it on to using GitHub, and we're going to use a GitHub action. Again, we're going to go through that to post for me. The TikTok one, again, is a little bit convoluted. I've connected a post to a Google Sheet. So all it's doing is populating a Google Sheet. And on the other end, so when that is entered, I'm then using buffer.com to detect an entry. Sorry, I'm using Zapier. Pardon me. I'm using Zapier.com to detect an entry, and that is then passing it to buffer.com, and buffer.com then posts to TikTok. The reason I'm doing it that way is because buffer.com actually has a built-in TikTok poster for video. It's one of the only ones that does by default. That's why I need to use buffer.com. And Zapier is one of the only ones that has a built-in connection to buffer.com. So you have to create this sort of like weird convoluted pipeline. But again, we'll go through that in another part. Part 2, we're going to look at YouTube. So we'll get our hands dirty with GitHub Actions, and then we'll move on to the others. And then we'll start to look at WordPress and the plugin I built for the whole scheduling of posts. But for now, hopefully you've got your Instagram posting, and congratulations. Make sure you like and subscribe, and wait for the next video. All right, see you soon.